today with Adrian Crisan, who is one of the top players in the world from Romania. He's also a good friend. Hi everyone, I'm doing another live interview today with Adrian Crisan, who is one of the top players in the world from Romania. He's also a good friend of mine. And basically, I'm going to ask him some questions, and then at the end, you guys will have a chance to ask some questions as well. Obviously, last time I did my interview with Liam, the audio was a little bit, I guess there was some audio feedback that came back through my my phone speakers. So I've decided that I'm going to hopefully let me know if you guys can't hear properly or if there's any problem with me using this headphone, because I don't want audio feedback when Artie's answering the questions, because that's going to kind of ruin it for you guys. So before he gets here, I'm just going to, some of you guys might have missed my story the other day. I'm going to try and do a live every Tuesday. So I've already organized one for next week already. And also I'm going to be starting some live table tennis trivia quizzes, which I think will be really fun. And then a couple of people have asked already what's happening with the pen holders bracket. So yeah, thanks. I've got lots of hats now from Dave & Buster's. The pen holders bracket's going to start tomorrow. So I'm going to try and do trivia, live interview, bracket, and then maybe one more trivia each week. That way you guys will get an idea of what the schedule is actually like. Yeah, and then hopefully I can keep going with that. For those of you that are here already, the next live interview next Tuesday is going to be with Zoran Primorac from Croatia, one of the legends of table tennis. And then I'm also hopefully working on, I've already spoken to Timo Boll, so I should be able to do one with Timo a little bit further on down the line. And right now I'm really trying to convince Ru Sung Min to jump on, even if we do a short one. But yeah, so same as last time with my my Pitchford interview, I've got 10 questions for Adrian, and hopefully he shows up soon. Yeah, and after I've asked those 10 questions, then we'll probably have, I guess, 10 to 15 minutes where you guys can ask plenty of questions. But yeah, I'm just going to wait for him to... He hasn't done Instagram Live before, so he's going to have to figure that out. But yeah, one of the probably the most interesting things that I'm going to ask about with him was his head-to-head with Timo Boll, because he's one of the few European players that has, I guess, almost a 50-50 head-to-head with Timo, in not just international competitions, but in leagues as well. Yeah, and he was top 30 in the world for a really long time, and really like pushing top 10 players in the world at the height of his career. So I'll give him a chance to show up. While you guys are here, since a few people have asked about the pen holders bracket, I can tell you that the 16 players for the pen holders bracket are Ru Sung Min, Wang Hao, Ma Lin, Liu Guoliang, Yoshida Kai, Xu Xin, Wang Chunting, He Zhiwen, Kim Taek-soo, Dang Qiu, Yunam Q, Chang Peng Lung, Li Jiao, Ni Xialian, Zhang Jialiang, and Zheng Peifeng. So that pen holders bracket should be pretty interesting. I thought the last one went quite well. So yeah, that I might either start that today. I might start it after the live today, either that or tomorrow. So, okay. Okay, Adrian, where are you, buddy? Yeah, so this live, the last one with Liam was about an hour long. This one's probably going to be a bit shorter. He's asking me what to do. Join live. I'm just explaining to him how to join. Hopefully. I'm going to end up going live with Diana soon instead. Hopefully he'll be here in 1 minute. Have any of you guys managed to play any table tennis? I've been really lucky. I've started playing a little bit again, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I saw, I think, Gauzy back in the training hall, and Portugal, I think, had their first team training session. Greece are back in the training hall. So maybe in a few weeks from now, we'll start to see things a little bit more normal. No. Yeah, there's not much going on in Colorado. Here we go. Okay. It's the man of the hour. Hey, how are you?
Hello, Matt. How are you?
You made it. I'm good.
I made it.
How was the city yesterday? So are you in France now or Romania? You're in France, right? Still?
Yes, I am in France now, and since yesterday is no more lockdown, so we were able to go in the city, me and Diana, and it's better now.
Did you eat some? Were there any restaurants open? Did you eat some food from restaurant? Maybe drink some wine.
Yes, no wine, but we went for a walk, and we actually had yesterday a sweet day because we ate in the city in our favorite bakery, French
nice.
And pain au chocolat. Was good.
Ah, all right. I mean, you must have been eating pretty healthy. I know, like, for me, during this lockdown, because I'm cooking all my own food, I eat very healthy. And I know Diana cooks very healthy food. So you must be feeling pretty good now after being at home for so long.
Yes, it's true. You are right. Yes, in the last years, I am eating healthy food, and I thank to Diana because she's an amazing cooker. And since the quarantine, I keep my weight the same, so I feel good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm eating vegan now. It's funny because last time I saw you guys, we went to the barbecue meat restaurant in New York, and I just ate all meat. I never imagined that now I would not be eating meat. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but for sure you feel much better now, no? Without meat and...
Yeah, much better. Yeah, yes. And lighter, not as fat here.
Yeah, it's good. You look good.
Yeah, getting there. Okay, so I have 10 questions for you. I'm sure a lot of the people watching will have some questions. I wanted to start off in the beginning. When you were growing up in Romania, I know they had an Olympic training center there. So I wanted to ask how the training was when you were younger, when you were growing up in Romania, and what the level of the other players you were playing with, Dan, and the coaches were. Because I know you and Philemon are quite similar in age, so you probably grew up playing together. I was interested actually in one thing. I know you and Craianga were actually born in the same city in Romania.
Yes.
Was Craianga playing when you were growing up, or had you already defected to Greece by then?
Yes, I start from the beginning. So I grew up in the communist Romania. I was born in 1980, and Yes, and was a hard time in Romania in that time, especially for sport and for everybody. And I started with 6 years old playing table tennis, and everybody in my city start looking up to Creanga, to Kalin, because he was our idol back then. He was European champion in cadets, and every young boy look up to him, and he was our idol, and he was the generation idol. I can speak in my city and in Romania.
So I mean, he's 8 years older than you, right? I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, how was the level in Romania? So when you were growing up, apart from Craianga, I mean, like the senior men's players, and the coaching stuff, and what kind of schedule did you have? I mean, having the Olympic Training Center, I guess a little bit later on, you must have been training 4 to 6 hours a day, or.
Yes, after Kalin left Romania in 1989, just before the Romanian Revolution, we start, and our coach start. We had an unbelievable coach, Mr. Gheorghe Bozga. He started with a new group of young players, 6, 7, 8 years old, and we start together. We start from the beginning. He started again from the beginning because Creanga just left, so he had and he was very motivated. And if you know Mihaela Ștef, I grew up together with her. She was number 3 in the world after. She was European champion, and we grew up together. And yes, was a nice time. Was hard times for us, and. We practice after in the Olympic Center. We have a schedule from 8 to 10 we practice. From 10 to 14 we go to class. After that we come, we eat, we rest a little bit. Then from 5 o'clock we have the second practice.
So good professional balance, school and table tennis.
Yes.
Okay. I've got a couple of player-specific questions. One is about Wang Hao, because I know that you had some really good wins over him on the ITTF Pro Tour back in 2004, 2005. And at the time, his level, he was already top 5 in the world. So he was ranked always between 1 and 5 in the world during those years. Was there something that you found more comfortable playing against Wang Hao than perhaps other Chinese national team players?
Yes, when I beat Wang Hao in 2004 and in 2005, I beat him in 2004 in Japan Open and in 2005 in Qatar Open. I was in my best time. Later that year, I became top 10 in the world, so I was in very good shape, maybe the shape of my life. And I play good against Wang Hao. Actually, I play good against this kind of style, against penholder. And this helped me. I always played against Wang Hao backhand. I like this, and I could receive his service. I could see his service. I could put short or start his half-long service, and I could play more aggressive against him. And I don't let him play the bombs with the forehand.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, because back then his forehand was crazy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so you beat him twice. That was 2004, 2005. One of the other players that I want to ask about, obviously, is Timo Boll, because not many European players have a record that's as good as yours against Timo. You're basically 50-50, so your ITTF is 3 against 3. And then I know also in the German league and in the Champions League, you and Timo always were kind of one person winning and then the other winning. So you said before backhand was a big strength of yours against Wang Hao. Was it similar with Timo? Because I know him being left-handed and also being a little bit more backhand oriented, kind of is a little bit different. But again, what was it you felt that gave you an edge against Timo? Because you beat him quite a number of times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Timo Boll is a legend of table tennis. He is one of the greatest, one of the best players who ever played the game. So I was always honored to play against him, and the wins that I won against him made me very happy and made me proud. And yeah, in the game, I always feel, and before the matches, I always feel that I have a chance to play with him, to win against him. I always believe this, and I always had a tactic against him. And yes, I always try to receive his service, his upspin Benjamin serve. I attack this service with my backhand flip or my forehand flick. And I know he didn't like when I play soft top spins to his backhand. A little bit nervous. He blocked it. And when he was feeling good, he played topspin and he played aggressive. Okay, but against Timo Boll, first of all, you must see that if you don't play the basic, the first two balls you must not miss. If you miss one of these balls, then you can lose in 10-15 minutes. Happened also to me many times. Many times you can win. Yeah.
So, I mean, probably the best result for you against him was at the Olympics in 2012. So you beat him in the last 16. Did you still go into you must have still gone into the match feeling that you had a chance to win. But were there some kind of different pressures on you for that match? You must have felt pretty good being able to beat Timo at the Olympics.
Yes, this was the win of my life. This was the best match I ever played. Was against him in London. Yes, before the match, I believed I have a chance. I go in the match. I play my game. I play aggressive. I got a little bit lucky. Of course, Timo maybe was not in the top shape. If Timo is in top shape, then he beat everybody in the world. And I used this to my advantage. And in the fifth set, I think 3-1 for me and 6-3 for Timo. After I was in the tunnel, and after I win the last 8 points. So
yeah, I remember that. So yeah, also talking about London, 2012 is you and Chuang Chi-yuan were in the same team, right? That was the year. So I know you and him were very close friends. How did you feel about when you saw that he was the one that you were going to play in the quarterfinal? How did you feel about that draw? And also, do you think it was a tough match for you mentally? The Olympics, everybody wants to win, and he's your friend, so you know that he wants to win as well. That must be a really tough situation to be at, basically that close to an Olympic medal, and having to play someone who you're really close to.
Yes. Me and Chuani, we are best friends. It was not an easy match for both of us. We are best friends playing such an important match. I regret even today I couldn't play my best table tennis. I was far from it. But Chuan played also an unbelievable match. He gave me no chance. The rhythm was too fast for me. I couldn't follow. So he cleaned me very fast. I played to him. Yes. And but for both of us was not easy situation to play such an important match. But after that we are still friends. We still today speak. We are best friends. And I remember good memories with him also. When we play in Oxenhausen, we play an amazing double together, and after we won the championship. So we have also good memories on the table.
Of course. One of the things that I wanted to ask a little bit more about, obviously you played in the Romanian team for, 2 decades, long time, right? Yes. But you also played for Team Europe in the Euro-Asia Cup. And I wanted to know whether you personally preferred playing team events to individual events, and whether you think that, table tennis is often considered quite an individual sport, and a lot of the most popular sports in the world are team-oriented, like the NBA and the baseball in the US. And I just wanted to ask, which you prefer and whether you've enjoyed those team events more, and if you think that having more team events like the Euro Asia Cup, and even, they had exhibitions between like China and the world or Korea and the world, whether you think more of that would help make table tennis a bit better.
Well, at the moment, I think the table tennis is orientated more and more for single tournaments or single, double, mixed double tournaments around the world, with a lot of tournaments. We see that World Table Tennis 2021 is coming. We wait to see what exactly will be. I think the idea is good. The prize money is big.
Yeah,
and if more and more players could benefit from this prize money and play around the world, and more media, and why not, is the right direction. But I think also we must keep the World Championship, European Championship, the traditional clubs, and the leagues in Europe, which are gone for so many years. And for me personally, I always enjoy playing in team. In Romania, I was member for 23 years. We had amazing run. Me, Filimon, and Choti, the famous team, to bring medals to Romania after the only 3 medals in the history of Romanian table tennis team, masculine. Yeah, and we had a great time together. I remember one of the best matches we ever played when we beat Germany with Timo Boll, Jörg Roskopf, in the 2005 European Championship quarterfinal. Was an amazing experience for us. And also the last one, when Andrei go 2-2 in the box against Gacina, and all the whole believe that he will lose, and only some Romanian crazy guy believed that he can win this match, and he won at the end. Everybody jumped into the box, and it was a nice memory. Yeah.
So you won 3 bronze medals with European Championship, right, for the team event?
Yes, that's right.
That's good.
In the Euro-Asia was also an amazing experience, because I play alongside Timo Boll, Vladimir Samsonov, Michael Mays, Dmitry Ovcharov. To play in one same team with these guys is not often. Was for me an amazing experience. Also, I had an amazing coach like Jörg Roskopf, Richard Krause, Peter Zart, and Ferenc Karshai. Was amazing this time for me. I think the event is good. It's only 3 days. Good prize money, nice atmosphere, good halls. And I hope this event will continue, because I think it's a good experience for everybody, and it's only 3 days.
It's a tough match for Europe, though, right?
Yes. Yes, it's true. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so after London, obviously, moving towards 2016, you managed to stay in the top 30 players in the world for more than a decade. So you were really up there in the world ranking for a long time. Before the Rio Olympics, you kind of started to drop off a little bit, and your ranking was going down. So I know I'd spoken to you a little bit, and you weren't really sure if you could make it to Rio, whether your world ranking was going to be high enough. I think maybe you were probably around 80 world ranking at the time. Was that a time when you started feeling like making the Olympics wouldn't be possible, and maybe that was a time when you wanted to retire from table tennis? How did you feel after spending 4 years between Olympics playing and then thinking maybe you wouldn't be able to make it to Rio?
It was a hard time for me in 2014, 2015. I maybe also through the change with the ball, and I don't know, I get a little bit older. I get also injury. I get a hard injury for my knee. I couldn't play for 6 months. So it was hard just 1 year before the Olympics to cannot practice. 6 months is very hard. Yeah. Was a back for me, and was I must come back. I must work harder, and at the end, luckily I got the last place to qualify for Rio. Yes.
Yeah,
And,
I mean, you must have been pretty happy with that. That's knife edge right there, the last spot.
Yes. I was very happy to see my last name there. Yes. And after the Olympic was great. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. That leads perfectly into my next question, because you were seated 50th in the singles, and you ended up in the last 32 playing against Lee Sang-soo, who was the 12th seed, and you were actually losing 3-1. I remember watching this match while it was live, and you came back and won 4-3. So when you were down 3-1, first of all, obviously Lee Sang-soo is like, you know, one of the stronger players in Asia, so it's a tough match to begin with. But what changed when you were down 3-1? What small things started to change to help you come back and manage to win that match?
Well, that match is a special match for me. I will never forget, for sure. Actually, I was down 3-1 in sets, but I felt I played very good. I felt I do my best, but he was the better player. And when it was 3-1, I speak to myself, I have nothing to lose now. I must continue to fight until the end, and maybe with a little bit luck, I can turn this match around. So I fight it until the end. Yes, and at the end I won this match. I gave everything, and of course I was very happy to win this match. Yes.
And then even after that, you had a pretty reasonable match against Zhang Jike in the next round. I think, was it 4-1?
No, it was unfortunately 4-0. But in these tournaments, to play against the top Chinese is really, really hard. They are in another level of playing table tennis. So for us and for all the rest of the world, it's difficult to follow. In the last tournaments, was like this.
Yeah. Okay, one of the questions that I have about the leagues. So obviously you played for Oxenhausen in the German league for 14 years?
For 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. Yes. And then you went to Bremen. So were you champions with Oxenhausen? You won with Bremen, right? You won the league there as well. Because I remember this photo of you on the ground after you won the match.
Yes.
Yeah, so you won that twice, and you've been playing in the French league now for 4 years,
La Romane, Stella Sport.
And 3 years, 4 years, 4 years now, right?
5 years.
5 years.
Yes.
Are there some particular memories that stand out from you? I mean, obviously winning those leagues is something that you can hold on to forever, really.
Yes, was an amazing experience. All these 3 clubs which I played for the last 20 years were amazing. I remember my first title with Oxenhausen in 2002, when I played the final match at 2-2, and everybody was expecting that I win, so it was a lot of pressure. Because Oxenhausen never won the cup in all the history.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Was the first cup for Oxenhausen. So I remember this title was very special. After, of course, this title with Werder Bremen, when we are total underdogs against Oxenhausen this time, we managed to win this match. Also was history for Werder Bremen, because never before Werder Bremen were champion. And here in France, in Stella Sport La Romane, I had an unbelievable 5 years. Very nice people, very wonderful club. And I'm happy that we could manage all together here to win the national title in 2018. And we won also the European Cup in 2017. So it was an amazing experience here with wonderful people.
How have you found it how have you found the lifestyle since you moved from Germany to France? Do you prefer France, the lifestyle in France, to Germany?
Well, both are different.
Unique.
Yes, both are unique. Both are different. I like both. I like Germany. I like France. I think when I was younger, I prefer maybe more Germany because it was more. I practice more. I spend more time in the hall, and I had everything organized in Oxenhausen, in Bremen. Wonderful condition, two amazing clubs. And here in France also I had very good condition, but I could practice a little bit less. We had a little bit less matches. Everybody know in France is a little bit less pressure than in Germany. In Germany, winner takes it all.
Yeah.
And I enjoy both times, and yeah.
So the last question I've got two more. Obviously you mentioned your backhand. Including your backhand, was there any area of your game when you were at your best level that you worked on more than other things, or were there any particular exercises that you did for certain area of your game that you used a lot more to win points against your opponents? I know, I mean, from watching you even in 2015 at the US Open, your serve receive, the flipping with your serve receive has always been really strong. So yeah, have there been any areas that you've really found your strengths, real strengths?
Yes, I think since I was young, I practiced a lot my backhand. I remember we do a lot of many balls, a lot of robot, play with robot. And I have a good feeling and a good touch from the young age for my backhand. So after years, I developed even more and was becoming my weapon to play. I also, I think, was not so bad in short game. In my peak time, I was very good in short game, and I could flip or I could give long. I could change very good the placement. Yeah, but of course the main weapon was my backhand. Also, Kalin Krang, I had an amazing backhand, so maybe same.
Yeah, same city.
Yeah.
And then the last question that I have is to do with equipment. So, I know you went through a lot of equipment changes throughout your career, and you like to try a lot of different equipment and see how it fits your game. A lot of players ask questions about how important equipment is, and there are a lot of players who are constantly changing to try and find equipment that they think is going to be better for them. So I just wanted to know how you felt about the amount of time that players spend, or maybe the amount of money that players spend on equipment, and how much you think it's important for players to focus on getting it right, or maybe they should spend more time practicing instead and just settle for some kind of setup.
Yes, I think equipment and racket and rubbers are very important for everybody, especially in the top for top players. For sure, they try a lot. They see, they try, they follow what suits them the best, and it is very important. I think the most important is the blade, and after the rubbers. If you have a good blade, you could after you can try different kind of rubbers, but the blade is number one. Now everybody can try for itself and see at the end what suits them the best.
Right.
For them. And yes.
Okay, well, that's the end of my questions. I know there are a few people here, so if anybody else has any questions they want to ask Adrian, now is your chance. If they don't come up with any, I might have to throw in a few more. Let's see. Do you? So now that the lockdown's a little bit more relaxed in France, is there any time schedule on when you might be able to go back to the training hall?
Yeah, at the moment is at the moment it is like this, that we cannot go in the hall until the 2nd of June. The authorities said like this, until 2nd of June we must practice at home or go. Since yesterday we can go outside and take a jogging or take a stroll to the city center. So, but in the hall we can go only after 2nd of June normally, but we will wait for the authorities to tell exactly when we can practice again.
So for you, when was the last time that you played?
It's already 2 months, I think, in 10 of March maybe. So 2 months, no practice.
That must be tough after a whole lifetime of playing table tennis. Was it? I mean, you must have enjoyed it a little bit as well to have a break.
Yes, in the beginning, every break is good. You can clear your head. You can see what you can do. But after a while, you want to come back to play a little bit. I hope, and everybody hope, that this crisis will be end soon, and that everybody can start to practice a little bit in the beginning, and after I don't know how many months that the players want to compete again. I hope that this will come and we can see again table tennis live.
Oh, look, Ovi said greetings to both of us.
Yes. Hello, Ovi. Hello, Giovanni. This is Giovanni.
So, how do you feel now about your the career in the French league? I know, like maybe 3 or 4 years, maybe 3 years ago, you said that you were probably going to think about playing less international. But are you still interested in competing internationally? Because I know last year you played the Europeans and you played a couple of world tours. Is that something that you still want to keep doing?
No. I stopped. I finished playing for national team. We have now a nice young generation, very strong one, and it's their time now. You saw a video, Ionescu, unbelievable results, vice European champion, vice world champion in double. So now it's their time. We have also 2 very strong young players, Rare Shiposh and Christian Pletia, who are European champions.
Yeah.
We also have 2 younger ones. We have Darius Mobilianu and Iulian Chiriță, which are number 1.
I know both of these.
in Europe. So we have strong generation coming ahead. So now is their time. I can help them where I can and how I can. So
Is that something you'd like to do in the longer term? Move back to Romania and work with the younger national team players?
In the near future, I'm planning to make a little vacation. I'm planning to go home. I was not home in the last 23 years, so I want to spend time with my father and my brother and all my family back in Romania. I don't see them and I miss them a lot in the last year. So now it's time for me to spend the time with my family. My father, who gave me everything, who supported me all my life, and my brother too. And I just want to be with my family. And after we will see. Of course, I will stay near table tennis, but I don't know in the moment exactly how.
Yeah, once it's in your blood, right? Table tennis. You can't get rid of it.
It all started, when all started? All started in a very long time ago, where in my grandparents' house, there was a table there, and sometimes all the family go there and play table tennis, not tournaments, but matches in the family.
Right.
So in Crisan family, the table tennis. And after my father was the regional county champion of Năsăud. And
really?
Yes. My tata was champion. Yes.
So it does run in the family.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, does anybody have any questions? It's like you can't escape. Diana's watching you. It's like a virus. I can relate to that. It's the same for me. I haven't been away from table tennis for, I started playing when I was 8, and I haven't been away from it for basically my whole life. So I know you just had a birthday. You just had a milestone birthday, and then now this Sunday is me, so I'm turning 30 this weekend. So
30 is good. 30, you don't feel it, I can tell you.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Romain Ruiz. Snake with his backhand receive.
Yes.
Anybody have any questions? This is your last chance.
For us.
Yeah, that means you explained everything really well. Everyone must be really happy with your answers. Yeah, so I'm lucky. I just started playing a little bit more, maybe like 2 or 3 times a week. So after this, I'm going to go and play with Lily again.
This is good.
You know what? She can't stop either. She must be 56 now. And she's still talking about playing competition. She wants to win. She wants to win like World Veteran Championship and all of that stuff. She can't put her racket down. Crazy. Hey, it's Tiago. It's Tiago. Tiago has a message for you.
Hello,
Papa
Tiago.
Chrissy.
Hello, Tiago. All the best.
Is that your nickname, Papa Chrissy?
Yeah, he tell me always like this, and I tell him Papa Tiago.
Nice. You could start an Italian restaurant maybe with that name, Papa Chrissy.
Yes. Why not?
Play football. I have to at some point. I have to visit Europe again because I feel like that's kind of one part for me that I missed out on was staying in Europe a bit longer. I know I wanted to before last year try and go to Romania, but it was difficult. But for sure, at some point, I need to come and spend some more time in Europe, and even if it's just playing for holiday.
Yes, you are welcome in Romania, in our city, in Bistrița. You are welcome anytime you want to come. You have everything free there. You can practice, see Romania a little bit. Me and Jan
nice.
will take good care about you.
That sounds good. Hopefully this is all over soon, then I can start traveling more. But for now, I have to stay in the house. Any more questions? Chase Bockhoven, come on, you must have a question. He was like a father for me when I started practicing and playing in Oxenhausen.
Thank you, Tiago. You are the best. Thank you.
I'll have to, Tiago, you have to do one of these lives with me at some point.
Yes.
We'll get around to that. Yeah. There you go. Chase is thinking. There has to be a question. Actually, I remember one of the first matches that I saw on YouTube of you playing was in the league against Krajanga. You must remember this match.
Yes,
and you won the match. You won the match, and did you play against him? Obviously after he left, did you play against him much, or was there a kind of a long gap where you hadn't played each other or seen each other for quite a long time?
After we played here in France only one time, was a close match. Unfortunately, I lost this match. It was 3-2, I think, 11-9 for him in the last. This match in Oxenhausen was a Champions League quarterfinal, Oxenhausen against Hennebon, back in 2010, I think, or 2010, quarterfinal match against Hennebon. And this match I managed to win. Was a close match again.
This one, I remember this one. It's good. Battle of the backhands.
Yes.
Chase, obviously I'm going to ask about... Okay, so Chase is going to ask about your backhand. Is there anything specific?
Backhand, you must practice a lot. You must feel the ball. You must see if you can feel the rotation. not only play knock, you must feel the rotation, that you have a little bit spin in the backhand. In the beginning slowly, after you can go faster, and after a while, and after hard practice, you must feel better.
So your backhand probably, I mean, when I watched you playing, your backhand was usually a little bit more powerful than your forehand. So did you change your grip a little bit to be more oriented towards your backhand?
Yes, I think all my career I had the more backhand grip, so I always have a better touch with the backhand. Was like this. Will be better if I could play better forehand. Also, I will be a better player. But I always have a more fixed backhand grip, and maybe that's why I could play better backhand than forehand.
Tiago, what is the best rubber for backhand? Maybe long pimple.
The best rubber, you know which it is. No, the best rubber at the moment, many players play with Ding Ning 05. Many players speak about this rubber, is very good for the backhand. I think Thiago also play with these rubbers.
Yeah, I've seen a few people reviewing it and playing with it. I think there's quite a few companies coming out with some newer stuff in the last couple of years, which is good. I think good for players to improve. One of the interesting things that I think the ITTF were discussing was maybe it was the Japanese Table Tennis Association. They wanted to try being able to make the blades out of anything. So you know this rule they used to say has to be 85% wood? Then to Japan, they were like, why can't you make a racket maybe like 100% carbon fiber, or, you know, interesting stuff like that. They always have in these ITTF meetings some very interesting ideas, maybe, increase the height of the net, or I know Samsonov was trying to talk about increasing how much the max sponge thickness would be. So people are kind of a little crazy about equipment. For me, if I can hit a ball with it, then it's good enough for me.
Yes, in the last years were many changes, and some of them were very good, and many people were happy. So many changes to have in table tennis. And we will see what the future brings.
What are your thoughts on the new colors for the rubbers? Yeah.
Yes, I think
Are you gonna change? Do you think maybe you would change to another color, or do you think after playing for so long, red and black is so normal for you, you just keep the same?
I think for the next years, I will keep the same red and black, but for sure I see that some companies try the new color for the rubbers. So I don't know which quality they can bring on to play a pink rubber. So I think it's still in progress, to speak.
Yeah. All right. Any more questions? Now's your chance. Before
Thiago asked which rubber is better for the backhand.
That depends on the player, really. For you, have you always felt that you like hard rubber more, or softer, or maybe medium?
When I was younger, I always look for the softer rubbers, but in the last years, I always look for the hard rubbers. I think now for the backhand, it's better to have a hard rubber than a soft one.
Yeah, I know when I was growing up, I mean, even up until I moved to the US, I used mainly soft rubber. But I think usually with the soft rubber, you have to do a lot more work. It's much more difficult to play faster or more acceleration. So even now I use 50 degree, I'm using harder and harder.
Yes, normally it's better to have harder rubbers than softer, this for sure.
What do you think? Why do you think they've introduced new color rubbers? Well, that's obviously for marketing. It's not important. I know I'm going to keep using red and black. I don't think I'm going to change the color. All right, last chance. Does anybody have one last question? I'm going to give Adi his freedom.
You see Giovanni there, 747. This is Chuani. Chuang Chi-Yuan.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I heard Giovanni. I didn't even know.
Yes.
Ah.
This is Chuan Chi-Yuan, the famous guy from Taiwan.
He's incognito. He has a secret identity. Giovanni.
Yes.
Is that his English name?
His nickname. We called him Giovanni in Bremen.
I had no idea. That's quite funny. Okay. That's a reasonable question. So Chase is asking if you think that for the new plastic ball and for like the new way that table tennis is played, if players need to have a carbon fiber racket, do you think it's important for players to be using carbon for the extra speed?
I think today, playing the big tournaments in big halls, you need a carbo racket. It's faster and you can get more spin and it's more easy to play. If you want to, if you play smaller holes, then it's better to play. You can play also normal wood, so without carbon. It's still fast enough. But if you want to play in the big tournaments or in the big holes, then it's much better with a carbon.
Okay, I think that's enough questions. You've earned your freedom. You can have your freedom back. So yeah, thank you for spending some time. It's nice to see you again. Hopefully, once everything's all over and we can travel a bit more again, then we'll be able to see each other and have a beer or two or three somewhere in the world.
Yes. Thank you very much, Matt. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best. And
you too.
I hope to see you soon.
Yeah, I hope to see you soon too. Thank you, Adi.
Thank you.